Hello guys, welcome to Construction Gist with Ebos. Today we are going to be discussing on the topic understanding cracks in concrete. As a builder, homeowners or an engineer, crack in concrete is something that we come across almost every day in construction projects. In some instances, some of the cracks tends to create panic, while some are just simple cracks that we don't need to panic about. We are going to be looking at the reasons behind cracks in concrete. We are equally going to be looking at types of cracks in concrete. If we have enough time, we'll still look at how we can repair cracks in concrete. And to round it up, we might end up looking at prevention of crack in concrete. If you are joining me for the first time, you are welcome. Please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that when we have similar construction gist, you'll be the first to be notified. Now, before we move on, I will like to talk about concrete on its own. What is concrete? You agree with me that concrete is a composite material that is made up of two or more materials. For example, cement, water, sand, and the chippings, or you say quartz aggregate. This concrete structure, we know that is very good in comprehensive strength but weak in tensile strength. That's one of the quality of concrete. So if we are looking at or we are trying to understand cracks in concrete, we need to understand the properties of concrete so that it will be easier for you to know why cracks can form on concrete at any point in time. Now, let's look at some reasons why we experience crack or why cracks are formed in concrete. The first reason I'll be bringing to you is loss of water or loss of moisture content. To understand this better, during the preparation of concrete, if the volume of water is not adequate enough in comparison with other material, after placement of that concrete on the formwork, you are likely to see that concrete developing cracks. Another way you can look at it is if, for instance, the preparation of concrete is good enough, that means the mix ratio is adequate enough, but now the formwork, after the formwork, if there's enough porous holes or space or provision where water will seep easily from the concrete, after placement, when the concrete is trying to set or cure, you will discover that if it loses too much of moisture or water, either through evaporation or through the formwork, it's still going to form crack with time. The second reason I'm going to be looking at is changes in temperature. If, for instance, the temperature as the temperature is increasing or reducing, you discover that concrete tends to either expand or contract depending on the rate of the temperature. So if the temperature is too high, as the concrete tries to expand, if there's no provision of expansion joint, it can also form crack in that particular concrete. The third reason why cracks are developed in concrete is as a result of the subgrade. The subgrade is the soil beneath the concrete. If there's changes in moisture content, it can make that soil beneath the concrete to move or slide. Or if there's differential settlement, it can also make the soil to settle unevenly, thereby leading to crack in that particular concrete. The last reason why cracks are formed in concrete has to do with the loading. After the concrete placement or when the concrete must have set, if you placed a heavy load on that particular concrete, it will definitely form crack over time because the load acting on the concrete will put too much pressure on the concrete that will result to crack because the comprehensive strength of that concrete cannot withstand that heavy load. Now let's discuss about some common types of crack in concrete. Concrete cracks can come in various types depending on the causes of the cracks, and some of them can have minor implication while some might need urgent attention. The first type of crack we'll be looking at today is the hairline or shrinkage cracks. This particular type of crack is very tiny and small in nature. It forms as a result of loss of moisture content during the curing process of concrete. Although it is not a serious type of crack since it does not actually affect the strength or durability of concrete. But if the width of the crack is pronounced enough, you can use crack filler to fill it up so that water will not be seeping through the width of the crack, thereby causing more damage to the concrete. But if the width is not pronounced, this particular type of crack can be overlooked without performing anything on it. Another type of crack I'll be discussing is the settlement crack. The settlement crack is as a result of shift or settlement in the soil. This particular type of cracks occur as a result of changes in moisture content of the soil or poor preparation of the soil. If the soil beneath the concrete is not properly compacted, it can lead to settlement, thereby causing crack in the concrete. This particular settlement crack can come in varying sizes from small to severe or pronounced width over time. If it is not being properly monitored or taken care of, it can also lead to structural deformation or failure. The best way you can take care of this particular type of crack is to prevent it on time or check the root cause of the crack and apply professional measure to repair such type of cracks. The next type of crack I'll be discussing on is the expansion type of crack. As we all know, concrete naturally expand and contract depending on the temperature changes or rate. This type of crack is as a result of the expansion of concrete during a high temperature rate. You can easily find it on slab surfaces and on a straight line. One particular way to solve or to reduce this particular type of crack is by installing what is known as expansion joint while preparing your concreting. The next type of crack I'll be discussing is the structural cracks. This particular type of cracks is of major concern to the engineers, the builders, and even the homeowners. It can come in wide range of sizes, and in most cases, it runs through the entire depth of the structure, thereby making the concrete to be weak and lose durability. This particular type of crack, some of the causes is as a result of overloading the structure or movement beneath the earth structure. I mean movement under the soil. That can lead to the concrete on top of the soil to be deformed. Then another reason why this particular type of crack occurs is as a result of poor construction practice or poor structural design. Once you notice this type of crack in your structure, it is important and urgent you engage the professionals to come and assess the structure and provide possible solutions to the structural crack. The last type of cracks I'll be talking about is the diagonal cracks. This particular type of cracks is as a result of movement in the soil, and it always appear at the corner of the walls. Once the soil in the foundation settle significantly, the top structural members will definitely shift, and that will result into diagonal cracks. You can always find this particular type of cracks at the corner of walls, maybe in your houses or in areas where you have corner walls. Over time, if it's not properly monitored, the diagonal cracks tends to increase as the settlement in the soil continues to settle. If proper care is not taken, it can lead also to structural deformation. One way to control this is to also engage a professional to assess the root cause and provide structural support to the member. So far, I would have loved to discuss on how we can repair cracks in concrete and how we can prevent cracks from happening or forming in concrete. But because of I don't want this video to be too long, already I've exceeded the time frame for it. I'm going to be making up a follow-up video so as to support this one, where we are going to discuss about how we can repair cracks in concrete and how we can also prevent crack in concrete. If you are joining me for the first time, please do like and share this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section and contribute also in areas such that it will help others that are trying to find solutions to their construction problem. Thank you. Thank you so much for staying with me up to this time. See you guys in my next video. Bye.